Hello! Today I'm going to show you how to do this look, which was sort of inspired by Alba and Barbies, and I just felt like doing a nice blue eye look and bright pink lips just because I felt like it. So yeah, let's get started. Right now I'm applying the Catrice Prime and Fine primer, which is one that I'd had lying around in my makeup drawer for like years probably. Well, maybe not years, but for quite some time. And I decided to finally start using it again because it is a pretty good primer. I'm just usually too lazy to use one. But yeah, I should actually use one. It's really cheap and it does make the pores look smaller. My skin does still get oily when I'm using it, despite it being mattifying. But yeah, I have really oily skin, so I guess that's just not very possible to prevent. And then while the primer is drying, I'm going to use the Catrice Allround Concealer Palette and a concealer brush by Sigma. And just use the green shades to sort of mark all the red spots that I have. Just so later with the foundation over it will be completely invisible. And also around my nose. And of course don't forget to blend it out. Okay, right now I've started on applying, I've already applied on my forehead the Clinique Superbalanced makeup tint. I only have a sample version of it, which I reviewed last Monday. And what I always do is I always use it in 2 turns, but then like between using it I just keep it in an empty cup, with a lid obviously, which used to contain eye makeup remover pads, because if it can keep those moist then it will keep this from drying out. So yeah, and I'm just applying that with a makeup foundation brush by Sigma. And I always like to just squeeze it out on the brush. Saves time cleaning other stuff. And I always feel if I put it on my hand or something that it just, I don't know, that like the product actually partly sinks into my hand and I don't really need to have like perfect coverage on my hands, so that seems sort of like a waste, so I prefer to just use it on the brush directly. Okay, but now I've moved on to concealer. I'm using the Catrice Camouflage cream in the shade Ivory as usual, and the pointed foundation brush by Real Techniques, which I think is a little bit too small to actually apply foundation with, but it's very useful for concealer, and I'm just highlighting with it as well. Foundation shade that I use is actually a little bit too dark. This is usually the case with samples. I have really pale skin naturally, and yeah, I mean in winter it looks worse, but even in summer when I'm like suntanned I'm still rather pale. So foundation samples are usually too dark for me, but yeah, I usually just try to fix that by spending a lot of time, or a lot of product at least, highlighting. And I just apply it with the brush, and then I prefer to just blend it out with my finger because it goes quicker. And I also just highlight a little bit. And then I also highlight my eyebrow. Basically I highlight everything that's supposed to get highlighted, or at least that I want to highlight. And then the bridge of my nose. And then just blend everything out. And then it's time for powder. I always start with the eyes because that's just the part that creases the first with me. I'm using the Catrice Prime and Fine powder as usual. And yeah, I just use a large eyeshadow brush for the under eye area and the area right above my eyes. And then for the rest of my face I'm just going to use a large fluffy powder brush. Okay, I've moved on to shaping. I've already done this side of my face to blend it out a little bit more. So you can probably see the difference. I'm using the Big Bold Bronzing powder by Neo Color as usual, and a dual fiber brush by Sigma. And what I always do is just start out with cheekbones because I want those to stand out the most, and just use the side of the brush to sort of really make a stripe there, and then blend it out. And always try to blend out upwards and not downwards, because you know you want this line to be there. And then I also use a little bit on my nose and my forehead, and just a little bit on my jawline to contour that as well. Okay, for blush and highlight, yeah, just highlight along with the concealer highlight basically. I'm going to use the Essence Silky Touch blush in Autumn Peach. And a newer color eyeshadow in the shade I Love New York, which is also very pretty as an eyeshadow, but if applied carefully with a fluffy brush like this one, it also works really well as a highlight. I've already done this side of my face. In any case, yeah, I just start out with dropping the blush. Yeah, they're very sturdy, luckily. In any case, by just applying it sort of between like the highest point of my cheekbone and the shaper. And just sort of carefully dabbing that on there. I sort of want to make it more sort of, yeah, natural. Because, yeah, the eyes are going to get a lot of color and the lips are going to get a bright color. So, yeah, I just want to keep the blush sort of natural, I guess. And just blend it along with the shaper. And once it's on there, I'm going to use the highlights shade, eyeshadow, whatever. And just blend it out on the cheekbones. That is one thing when using a eyeshadow as a highlighter. It is important to blend it out, otherwise it's just going to look like a very pale stripe. And I'm also going to apply a little bit right here, which I saw on a bunch of YouTube videos. And I thought it looked pretty nice, so I want to do it too. But I'm being very careful not to apply too much, because again, I have oily skin. And shiny turns to oily with me in like 10 seconds. So yeah, and then it looks like this. Okay, the eyes are going to be nice and Barbie sort of bright. So I'm going to start out with the NYX Jumbo eye pencil. Also, by the way, before I start, I'm mainly going to use for the blue shades this Catrice palette, which is like from a collection that was like from 2 years ago. This just happens to be the only blue eyeshadows that I have in my personal makeup stash. But yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is you don't necessarily need this really old palette. You can just use whatever blue shades you do have. But I'm just happening to use this because it's what I have. But yeah, I'm going to start out with the NYX Jumbo eye pencil in the shade Milk. And just apply it on my fingertip and then dab it onto my eyelid. Which is also the reason why you can basically use any blue shade you want. Because any blue shade is going to stand out with a white base underneath it. Pretty much, I guess. And I'm really trying to get it in the inner corner of the eye. But do be careful not to get like, you know, weird white spots there, basically. And I'm not putting this before in the crease because I do want the crease to be dark later on. So I really only want to concentrate this on the moving eyelid. And then it looks like this. And then I'm going to move on to the eyeshadow palette. And a eyeshadow brush. I have all my eyeshadow brushes lying here next to me, so if I gotta search for a second, then sorry for that. In any case, I'm going to use this dual-sided EcoTools brush, and I'm going to use the eyeshadow brush side. And just going to start out with the bright blue shade and put it on the entire moving eyelid, basically everywhere where we just put white. But I'm trying to leave the inner corner empty a little bit, because I want to highlight it. And I'm just really dabbing it on there because I don't want to accidentally move the white base. And then within seconds it looks like this, which is why I just love using a white base, because it just makes bright colors that much easier to apply. And then I'm moving on to a angled brush, which I just have to rinse off a bit. Okay, I was just rub it off on the towel because I used it for blue already. Yeah, and then I'm just going to use this caramel shade to sort of, well, not really define the crease yet, but just to sort of have an eyeshadow there, so blending will be easier later on. Because really this shade isn't dark enough to really deepen up the crease. I mean, you know, you can barely see a difference really. In winter it is a very nice color though. But yeah, then it looks like that. And then I'm going to use the darkest shade, the dark blue one. And fill in the outer V and also the crease. And just really blend it well. Just so sort of swiftly changes color or something like that. And I'm really going to concentrate this like in the most inner part of the crease. And then blend it upwards because I don't want the entire crease to be dark blue. As in, I don't want it to be too far up to my eyebrows. And then I'm just going to use this brush to blend it out. It's Monday morning when I'm filming this, so yeah. I'm not the most awake person on planet Earth when it's Monday morning. But yeah, then it looks like this obviously. And then I'm going to use another EcoTools brush, a short one. And start out with the middle blue shade. Like the shade that we use on the eyelid. And just put it on the center part of my lower lash line. And then the dark blue on the outer corner. And just blend it inwards. And then I'm going to use this brush, the fluffy sort of round side on the other side. And the palest shade, just a really bright nude shade. And put that in the inner corner and also on the bottom. And then I'm moving on to, where are you? The short brush, and just use the same shade again. Underneath my eyebrow, I just always like to use this brush for that because it has like the perfect shape to put it here. Which is pretty handy. And then for now, for a second, done with this palette. And moving on to newer color. I Love New York, again the shade that I used on my cheekbones as a highlight. And I'm just going to use the same brush. Put that in the inner corner. Because I just want a little bit of shimmer on the eye as well. And also on the eyebrow just a little bit. I don't want my eyebrows to be, or under eyebrow area I guess, to be too shiny, but yeah. Because the blue shades are matte, I just sort of thought it looked cute. Then I'm moving on to eyeliner. First I'm going to use a pencil eyeliner. This one is by J.Cat, just the white one. It won't make very much of a difference because it's not a very visible eye pencil I guess. It just brightens the area a little bit so it still looks sort of natural I guess. And then I'm using a eyeliner that I actually didn't use before I used it on this eye today. Which is by Yves Rocher. It's a blue one. Shade 51 I guess it is because it only says a number. I would prefer that things actually have a name, but oh well. And I'm just going to obviously line my eyes with that. Usually on Barbie dolls you can sort of see like a double sort of eyeliner, and one of them is usually some shiny color. So I'm just going to try to do it on my own eyes as well. And more importantly try to make it look even with the other eye. Which is always the hardest part. And I do very much like the brushes of the Yves Rocher eyeliners by the way, although I have to admit I've never actually tried the black eyeliners. I don't know what it is with Yves Rocher makeup, but like with some makeup products they're amazing. And then, I don't know, things like foundations and eyeshadows are hit or miss. But yeah, usually I almost knocked my mirror over. I usually really don't find them worth the price, to be honest. But with this eyeliner though, I would actually contemplate buying a new one when it goes empty. Because it really is pretty. I mean, you can't really see it all that well on the blue eye look obviously, but maybe you can see it like this. It does really stand out and it covers really well and it's a really nice metallic shade. But yeah, anyways, because I want the outer corners to be a little bit more dark, I'm going to move back to the Catrice palette now and a angled brush. And the darkest blue shade over here. And just put it like from like the center of the eye, like to here to the outer corner. Not in the inner part because Barbies usually are supposed to look, you know, sweet and innocent, and I don't know, a full dark eyeliner just doesn't seem to suit with that very well. And I'm also darkening up the bottom of the wing. And sort of blending that with the lower part of the eye. Lower eyelid. I want to keep calling it the lower eyelid, but it's really just the lower lash line, I guess. Well, you get what I mean. In any case, then it looks like this, and I think I need to make it a little bit darker to make it even with the other eye. It's really always the hardest part to get it to look even with the other eye. But yeah, and if you have any fallout, just carefully wipe it away with a soft brush. I'm just using the brush I use for highlight. And then it looks like this. Then it's time for mascara. I'm using the Catrice Glamour Doll mascara because obviously the name just really suits with the look. Yeah, it's a really nice mascara. It has a small one, so it's really nice when we're in a hurry and can't really pay too much attention. Oops, and I just... Yeah, if there's something like that happens, just wait for it to dry and then you can just use a Q-tip to wipe it off, which you'll do later. But what I was trying to say is that if you're in a hurry and not stupid enough to actually hold the wand against your cheek, it's a very easy mascara to use simply because the wand is so small. So there's not much chance of hitting like your eyelid. So yeah, just really building up the eyelashes on the upper eyelids. And then also darkening up the lower eyelashes. Don't want to make them too dark, but just I do want to have them visible. Okay, and then it looks like that, obviously. Then it's time for eyebrows. I'm going to use the Catrice Essence Hello Autumn Eyebrow Set as usual. And my Sigma small angle brush. And basically I'm not going to do anything special with the eyebrows. I'm just filling them in as I usually fill them in. You could make them like, you know, very doll-like and perfect, but I just don't think that's very much suits with my face, I guess. I am going to use the paler shade on the front part though, because I do want to completely fill them in. And then all that's left to do is to comb them in place. Okay, this time I'm obviously starting with a lip pencil for my lips because I do think it makes them a little bit more defined, but I'm usually too lazy to use one. But I'm trying to be less lazy, so I'm using this one, which actually comes with a cap. In any case, by Peggy Sage, which is usually in my makeup kit, but today I decided to use it on myself. I always, by the way, if I use them on someone, I always sharpen them first so there's no like germs or anything on it. And obviously I disinfect my stuff. Let's try to actually do this on camera. Okay, I've obviously moved on to lipstick. I'm using this really old one by Rimmel, which is this really nice bright Barbie pink. It's called Rose Sorbet, and basically any brand has lipstick like this. Okay, so this is the finished look. Yeah, I think it's still pretty wearable, although I do think that the combination of blue eyeshadow and pink lips is, you know, in the category of wrong looks, but who cares. In any case, I think it still looks pretty fun. I'd wear it outside. I actually did wear this look outside last Friday when I went grocery shopping. But anyways, yeah, in any case, I hope you enjoyed watching this. Thank you very much for watching and see you next time. Bye! Okay, we're filling in the eyebrows. I've already done one side of my eyebrow. I hope my camera's gonna hold out because the battery's almost empty. In any case, yeah, so basically I'm going to